Hello, lovelies. Catie here from Front Porch Nurse. And as a Gen Xer, since we have spanned the analog into the digital age, I have a lot of people that I work with and know that think AI is amazing. And I have a lot that are worried about like Terminator, Skynet, us all killing each other thanks to AI. So I just thought I would do a quick presentation about AI for midlife women's health specifically. Here's the deal. Women's health is dramatically, whatever adjective you want to use, under researched, especially from midlife and beyond, postmenopausal and aging. So even finding halfway decent information can be pretty hard online. Most research studies, the bulk of research studies were done with men in their 20s and 30s in decades past. And healthcare just thought, well, women are almost the same, so we'll just apply all the same information to them. And it's only really in the last couple of decades all the differences are coming out. We have different symptoms for the same diseases as men. Sometimes we use our bodies process medications a little bit differently. And so since there is not enough great information available, the commercial information that's out there online rises in the rankings when you do online searches. And that also impacts AI. How AI works is this. So I'm talking about generative AI. There's different kinds of AI. We don't need to know all the things, but I do want you to know how generative AI like ChatGPT works. Because I think when you know how it works, it makes a lot more sense as to some of the output that you get back from it and why there are the problems that there are. So, generative AI, ChatGPT, actually was trained on lots of data, narrative or words data, and it was trained on basically on everything that was on the internet. Through right now, it's up to about mid 2024. So it can't actually predict anything that's coming. It just knows what has happened. And it is definitely not thinking. It is completely not alive. It does not have consciousness. So AI, ChatGPT AI, is just predicting words. This computer program has tracked how different people, different internet users, how we order our words. So when a computer like this looks at how a certain person or a certain group orders their words, then it can predict what that group or person would think was a good answer. It's just the order of the words. That's it. This to me, this was very comforting, honestly, because at first when I was playing around with ChatGPT, I was like, oh, damn, this thing knows stuff. We're in trouble. But it doesn't, I promise. Even though it might sound like it has feelings when it is chatting with you, it does not. It does not, most certainly. And you might have heard or read articles about teenagers and young adults using ChatGPT as a therapist. I am very concerned about that because Chat does not have empathy. It doesn't have compassion. It doesn't have human emotions like a live therapist would. Also, if you don't want whatever information you're chatting with Chat about to be used for it to train on and tell other people, You either need to do a temporary chat, which is you can just click a little bubble in the upper right-hand corner, or you don't put it in there. Like if there's any information, like don't type your social security number in ChatGPT. That is not a good plan. Okay. So chat organizes words, organizes information in a way that it thinks is the correct order from what you asked it to do. All right. So here's what ChatGPT can do pretty well. If you need a plain English explanation for something in health care, that's a pretty good use of it. Like if you get a report back, you had an x-ray done, and maybe you get the report back from the place where you got it done, and it has these, mildly displaced, possibly this, fracture. If you put that phrase into ChatGPT and said, what does this mean in plain language? It could do a pretty decent job telling you. Chat is really good at summarizing. If you have multiple data sources like PDFs, articles on PDFs, or books in downloadable format, it can actually summarize all that information together. If you say, I'm looking at this from this certain angle of, midlife woman in perimenopause, like how would this impact that person? Chat's actually really good at suggesting ideas to help us organize our mental chaos. It's a helpful brain dump partner. It can help us just kind of get everything that's in our head out onto the page and then organize it in terms of whatever our priorities are. And it's really good for lists, ideas, routines, because it's pulling from information that's all over the internet. So it pulls from a bunch of places that have, say, best morning routines or whatever. And when you explain what you're looking for, then it matches what you're looking for with the words that it thinks are correct. What else? I think that's pretty good for what it's good at. Now, chat is not good at everything. Here's the biggest downfall. Chat hallucinates, which means it will tell you something in words and it will sound 1,000,000% true. You're like, wow, that's amazing. But if you actually dig in and try to verify that information, you can't, because it's not true. It's just made up. And chat doesn't have any problem with making stuff up because it doesn't have human, guilt or worries about behaviors or anything else. It's just trying to put words together to satisfy your inquiry. Chat repeats that on whatever bias is online. So since most of the health information that we have is based on studies done with younger adult men, the quote facts that have been produced will just be repeated. It won't say, oh, but you know what? This was actually all studies done on younger adult men, so I don't really know if that's going to pertain to you. And it doesn't know you or know anything about you unless you tell it. Chat is not a doctor. Chat cannot diagnose you. I don't care how many symptoms you type in. It will come back with an answer. It will always come back with an answer. And it will try to get the answer that it has seen the most times online pertaining to those symptoms that you typed in. But it doesn't know. It really has no idea. So, how to avoid those pitfalls? You can always ask it for sources, but then you have to click through the links and verify them. I have done this so many times where I've asked for sources, and when I click through the links, it goes to a completely different website or paper or study than it says that it's supposed to be. Make sure that you're verifying with reliable, trusted websites like Mayo Clinic. PubMed is where a lot of research papers are published. So just make sure that you're going back to a good source. When you prompt it, the prompts are all the things that you type in. You can add for education only, because that tends to get around some of the commercial information. Always cross check and keep your information to yourself, please. You do not want to be out there and getting, more spam than you already get because you put in your email on ChatGPT or something. We can use chat to save our energy if we just use it purposefully. I think it's super fun. It entertains the heck out of me that it can come up with all these responses to any question or any idea or any set of words that you can type in. We can really use this to help us lighten our mental load, get rid of some of that invisible load that we carry around that is everybody's birthday and so is going to have to get a new dentist appointment because they have to work that afternoon, and your dad told you that he really needs some more of this thing at Costco. Can you get it? Like, chat can help you get stuff organized and out of your brain onto paper or the screen. We don't need this to second guess us. It's not about that. But what you should know, if you haven't used ChatGPT very much, is it's not exactly like an internet search, like a Google search. When we do a Google search, how we just type in our search and then we get all these results and we kind of have to sort through them, right? So the way that ChatGPT works is you type in your initial prompt and you get whatever output it gives you, and you look through that. And if you want to tweak the response, if you want it a little more specific, or if you realize that you forgot to say for education only, or if you want to add on for a woman in her 50s or whatever, you can keep responding with new prompts so that you get tighter and tighter words, information back out of ChatGPT. Now that I find really handy. Here's some easy ideas to try. And Chat can do this stuff all day long. Quick recipes from what you have. Like, I have chicken, spinach, and rice. Tell me what is an easy recipe that I can make in 30 minutes or less. If you have a really busy day or a busy week coming up and you're just not sure, you're not sure how everything's going to fit, but you really suspect that there could be a better way to arrange things than what you're thinking, you can ask Chat, hey, I need to get a schedule for the week of whatever to whatever that fits my life. I definitely need to have time 3 times that week to take a walk, which takes about an hour. I need to be able to get my kid to school by, 7:28 a.m. It takes this long to get there. I need to have time to read a novel for at least half an hour every evening. I want to go to bed by 10 and wake up at 6. Oh, and also, this is for a person who has ADHD. If you have a neurodivergent diagnosis, or you even feel like you could have a neurodivergent diagnosis, Chat is really handy because it will pull information from tips and tools all around the internet that work for people with ADHD, as an example. Cool, huh? Exercises. There's tons of ways Chat can help you find or develop an exercise plan. Definitely ask it about or tell it if you're a beginner, intermediate, advanced, what may be the limitations that you have, like knee pain, I need gentle exercise. You can ask evidence-based. Let's see. Okay. Another thing I already told you guys is it can summarize a lot of documents together. Say you want, like a Mediterranean diet style eating plan for 2 people this week, dinners only. I have some frozen, tilapia fish and olive oil. I need it to be simple and quick. Please tell me some kind boundary statements I could say to my nosy neighbor who is always trying to stop me and ask what I'm doing every time I go outside my house. Or, hey, I need a packing list. I only want to take a backpack, and we're going to be 6 days hiking in the mountains of Peru in this month. What are must takes? That's pretty cool, right? Come on. Also, everything I'm talking about on this video can be done on the free version of ChatGPT, because you can get a paid version that does even more, but this can all be done on free. So just remember, AI is not the truth, but it's a tool that if you use the tool to support your truth, it's going to help, which is awesome. Our intuition, our human brain, ourselves always win in the end. But if we can use the tech that's available to protect our energy instead of be yet another drain, that's where we want to go. Because the tech's not going to go away. You know that. I mean, look at what's happened in the last however many years since we were in high school, college, post grad, whatever. It's been crazy, and it's not going to go away. So we might as well use it to help. All right. Thank you so much. If you find this helpful, you want to stick around, you want to get weekly, concise, and helpful, wonderful emails, sign up for my email list, link below, and I will see you soon.